call of the Hawks can be heard all the way to San Francisco.
You're listening to Pod at the Palace with Curtis Wilkerson on Inside Arkansas.
And welcome in to the Pod at the Palace post-game live reaction show presented by SARACEN, Arkansas's #1 sports betting app. Curtis Wilkerson and Andrew Ellis here with you today to break down Arkansas's 94-86 win over Missouri in Fayetteville. Wow. Grind of a game, right? I mean, when we talk about the SEC being a war of attrition, that's literally exactly what we're talking about. Arkansas very, very clearly fatigued, very little gas in the tank. It seemed like everyone on the roster was getting checked by the trainer at some point. I have no idea if they're going to have enough players to play on Wednesday. I'm not even really joking, and I hope that Billy's okay. We'll worry about that when we get there. And then you got a Missouri team who's playing for their postseason lives, giving you their best shot, trying to punch their ticket into the NCAA tournament. It was nut-dropping time in Bud Walton Arena. Arkansas did that. They dug deep. They got it done. Andrew, what'd you think?
Yeah, I think Billy getting hurt at the end kind of showed it was like a perfect microcosm of this game, because I feel like that was the theme, is Arkansas's coming in shorthanded. You knew the depth was kind of the thing that had everyone concerned, especially coming off of a tough, emotional, grueling game on the road on Wednesday on a late game, or I guess it wasn't too late, but you get done with the game at 8 o'clock. You got to turn around, get ready Saturday. That's why I'm so impressed by the performance, and Arkansas was able to get the job done. Missouri's a solid team. I don't think they're like a outstanding Final Four type of team, so it's not even really about, the accomplishment of beating Missouri, but I do think the accomplishment of having a fairly quick turnaround, having to kind of reset, refocus, get yourself ready to play. It would have been very easy, and I feel like if this game had happened 2 months ago, Arkansas probably wouldn't have had a great start in this game, and they didn't have a great start. They did have to battle back from an early deficit, but I felt like they were solid. They showed a lot of maturity, especially in that second half, and really when Arkansas took the lead at the end of the first half, you kind of felt like that was it there, that Arkansas had kind of taken control of the game, that they were going to maybe cruise a little bit in the second half, and it wasn't easy, but you never really felt down the stretch like Arkansas was in danger. So from that standpoint, coming off a game where for 40, 45, 50 minutes on Wednesday, every single second of the game was up for grabs, I think it's very helpful that Arkansas got to have a little bit of a ho-hum, normal adult victory today. I thought they showed some maturity. They look like a solid team. Got a few guys to step up, specifically Malik Ewan. I'm very pleased with the effort from the Razorbacks in this one.
Yeah, me too. I think it was pretty clear, maybe before the first media timeout even, that Arkansas probably wasn't going to have their A game in this one. It looked a little bit, the first steps were a little bit slower. The defensive rotations just, a half step off. The passes weren't as crisp, and they were a little bit casual there right away. And I was thinking, I hope that Alabama game doesn't beat you twice, but I thought that they really settled in, and clearly they were worn out. But man, that was a business-like performance right there is exactly what it was. Missouri scored their first 28 points through their front court. And I was thinking Arkansas is they're going to absolutely get embarrassed here in the paint. And they tightened up some in the second half from that front, but they wound up tied in the paint in a game where I was like, they're going to lose by 30 in there. So that was good to see. Out-rebounded Missouri in this game. That was good to see. Only allowed 7 offensive rebounds to a team that gobbles up a lot of offensive rebounds in there. So some good stuff. And then it was a balanced effort. Acuff, you could tell he was feeling it. A lot of people were asking me, is he hurt? Is he hurt? Well, yeah, he was hurt before the Alabama game. You think he's feeling great after playing 50 there? He gutted it out and got, of course, 20 again. But you had contributions from everywhere. Malik Thomas, he had 14, but he had that 5-0 spurt there that I felt like kind of put the game away in the final minutes. You got 12 out of TB. Okay, fine. But he also had 6 assists. Where'd that come from? Billy with 21 points. Worried about Billy. He gets, Acuff pops him in the face, and then they go knee to knee there at the end is what that was. That did not look good at all. I see some people saying he's walking around and stuff. That's fine. I have no idea what it's going to look like on Wednesday. Don't ask me. I don't know. Malik Ewan was 16. DJ, Arkansas had Acuff out of the game for a stretch there at the end of the first half with DJ in. He played really, really well. Hit a corner 3, dunked on a dude. And next thing you know, Arkansas goes from down, and they were kind of laboring a little bit, to the lead at halftime and had some momentum. So everybody, and by everybody, I mean 7 guys, really contributed and stepped up in this game. A win that they needed to get. That's 20 on the season. That's 10 in SEC play. Good on them. I'm not saying concede anything moving forward, but you got to get these dudes some rest. I do not care if they practice 1 minute before Wednesday.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, what terminology do we always use in March? Survive in advance. And I don't say survive in the way of like Arkansas was having to fend off this furious comeback from Missouri, but this game was very much a just get through it. Just get through it and move on to tomorrow. And then you're going to play a game on Wednesday night, which that rest will be huge. That Texas A&M game. Just get through it, and then we're going to Florida. We got a big road trip there, and then, after that, you've got some other opportunities where you've got to take care of business. But all of this is about just getting to March as healthy as possible, getting to March playing the best basketball you can, surviving and advancing. That's what Arkansas did tonight. Nice to see Darius Acuff be able to take a little bit of a step back. Obviously, he still ended up having a pretty good game. Hell, most guys, this would be like their best game of the year. Darius Acuff only takes 10 shots in this game. That was awesome. The fact that Arkansas was able to kind of run offense through some other guys definitely needed that. I did not want to have to see a Darius Acuff where he's taking 30 shots and really having to will Arkansas to victory down the stretch. I think that will help him a lot moving forward, and then hopefully with a nice little bit of rest there on Wednesday night. And in the first half, shout out to Malik Ewan. I thought Malik Ewan was at times awesome, and kind of dominant there on the middle. What do you have, 11 points at halftime? Ended up kind of calming down a little bit in the second half, but made some free throws, got them in a little bit of foul trouble, really gave Arkansas somewhat of a presence down low. And how many of these post games have we been like, man, if Arkansas could just get anything from their front court, they'd be fine. They got a little something from them in this game, in a game where TB was kind of a little bit shaky, honestly.
Yeah, I was worried about that matchup with Mark Mitchell going into the game for TB because his length can impact things in there, but Mark Mitchell is one of those dudes that he gets into your body, he's strong, and he's also got a 40-inch vertical. And so I didn't necessarily anticipate that going well. I was talking about that on the pregame show this morning, but at the end of the day, it's another, and this is not going to be a negativity post game. I'm very happy Arkansas got the win. If you're looking ahead, big picture, it's like, holy crap, these dudes have to get healthy, and they got to get healthy in a hurry. And then the second thing is the 2-point defense. They've got to figure something out. They might have to do something a little bit different in there. Mark Mitchell is the next of a long line of forwards in a row who have absolutely torched Arkansas. He goes for 26 points. He was 8 of 12 from the field. Okay, fine. Arkansas hasn't done a good job defending a 4 all season, I guess. But if you're going to give it up in there, then you got to get some back at least. And that's where Malik Ewan came in handy, right? 16 points, 8 rebounds. He did a really nice job in there after, it's been a run of 4-5 games in a row where he's just it's like he's just been out there a little bit. So I was glad to see that from him. What'd he play? 31 minutes. Arkansas needed that from him because he's not a guy that's been playing a lot of minutes in this scenario here since the bye, where Arkansas has been shorthanded. Him and Nick have kind of been, splitting the load in there, and he gets in there and gives you some good contributions. It was crazy, man. Missouri is one of those weird teams that plays 3 dudes who are 6'10" or taller, and so you've got Acuff guarding Pierce, who's a foot taller than him. You got DJ guarding a 7-footer in there at times, and they just had to kind of scratch and claw their way through it. And to their credit, they did. 22 of 25 from the free throw line, Arkansas. So a good job getting there and a good job stepping up and knocking them down. Acuff, you mentioned it. He's 4 of 11 in the game. So you could tell the legs were weighing on him a little bit, but he gets to the free throw line 13 times. That's kind of the part of his game we've been waiting on. We've been yelling about him not getting to the stripe. He did in this one. So they had to go about it a little bit differently, but at the end of the day, they did, and they got the win.
Yeah, it's certainly not a secret that Arkansas's interior defense is the weakness. And for a while there, it was interior and perimeter. The perimeter's still not great, but it's at least showed some progress, and they've had some success out there. Interior, it's just one of these things that we go into every matchup kind of understanding that that's going to happen. For Arkansas to match them in paint points, which they've done a lot. They've had some, pretty much every game, Arkansas has a ton of success of their own inside the 2-point range. But for Arkansas to kind of win these other areas, so important, because if you're conceding that your opponent is going to get a ton of easy looks at the basket, well, you can't allow them to pop off for 3. Missouri goes 7 for 21 in this game, 33%. You can live with that. You turn them over 10 times. You only turn the ball over 5 times. You don't allow a ton of second chance points. Only 8 second chance points for Missouri in this one. Arkansas had 15. Fast break points, 17-2. Missouri didn't get their first fast break points until the literal last possession of the game. That's massive for Arkansas there. And so with the way that they play, it's like, dude, if you're going to score 100, you kind of force teams, as bad as your interior defense is, and it is horrible, teams are going to have to shoot 70%. in order to beat you most times. And sometimes they will. And we saw in the Bama game that Bama was able to they lost all those same battles, but had a giant free throw discrepancy. With the free throws kind of even, Arkansas can play in these kinds of games. And I love the stat they showed on the broadcast that this is the first loss Missouri's had when they've scored. I don't remember what the points was, if it was 75 or 80 or something like that. But every time they score a certain amount, they were undefeated this year because it's just kind of the style they like to play. Arkansas was able to kind of out Missouri, which I think made this victory a little bit nicer because Arkansas just kind of does what they normally do.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. And for those who are, perturbed by some of that stuff in the paint, I will point out Missouri is one of the bigger teams in the country. They're one of 2 teams in this league that has beaten Florida in that front court. So like that kind of stuff is their strength in there. And Arkansas was able to overcome it when literally the entire team was out there hobbling around. It's crazy. 8 for 18 from 3 for Arkansas. You got 2 of them from Billy Richmond. Thoughts?
Yeah, how about that? And they were back to back too.
Yeah,
that's when I tweeted. I tweeted it. I only had one basketball tweet today, and it was about Billy Richmond, where I was like, "Holy cow, this guy might just be a pro." I continue to be astounded at the level he has risen to offensively. What do you have? 4 assists in this game as well. Like he's a legitimate. I don't want to say go-to guy. He's certainly not Arkansas's like top scoring creation option, but he's certainly filled a huge void when Arkansas needed it these last few games.
Yeah, no, he's definitely done that for sure. Let's see. What else do we want to get into? I don't want to spend too much time on this before we get into the reaction because I know a lot of people have a lot of things to say. I will tell you because I'm already seeing it. Hey, but what's the deal with Billy? What's going on with Billy? Has Cal said anything about Billy? You're not going to get anything from it. We'll tell you what's said. He's probably getting imaging right now. Okay. Whether it's precautionary or not, he's going to get that. We're not going to hear anything until at least tomorrow. So just understand also, that's going to be the thing.
You guys saw our faces as the game was ending. There was no way we were going to have an update at the beginning of the show. And then it's been 15 minutes or whatever. There's no possible way for there to be Billy news 15 minutes after the literal injury happened.
He was right in the thick of everything in this game, wasn't he? I mean, 21 points, so he leads the team in scoring, which is great. Hits a couple threes. You don't expect to see that. Gets what'd they call it? Unobserved technical foul at the end of the first half with him and Cruz getting into it. So it's like, okay. But then he gets popped in the face by Acuff, and then he gets his knee taken out by Acuff late in the game. It was like every moment that happened that didn't involve the clock operator screwing something up involved Billy Richmond in this one.
I mean, it's just kind of who he is. That's just kind of his whole mantra on both ends. The 3 steals was awesome. Yeah, I think when we think about how Arkansas is going to get through all these stretches, pretty much every variable points to Billy Richmond having to do more. Whether that's on the offensive end, whether that's defensively with Carter out there, like his physicality is going to really need to body some guys up. If Arkansas is going to go small, that then forces Billy to do things. So frankly, as much as we do hope he's great, and yeah, you better be healthy because if not, this whole thing's gonna sink right away. If Billy, we can afford a lot of things. This Razorback team cannot afford Billy Richmond to not be there.
No, they absolutely can't. And that's where we get into some complicated scenarios here because Cal doesn't recruit a team, and you wind up in this situation where Sealy available. It was clear in warmups that dude wasn't playing today. Knox out. He's back with the team, which is great. He's walking around on crutches. So you got 7 guys. Acuff, if you look at him, I'm just being honest, he looks like a dude who needs to take a week off. Like he needs to set a game, take a week, get completely healthy. But how the hell can you do that now if, Billy just got hurt? Even if you get great news back from him, and we have no idea, but he's not going to be feeling good. He needs some time. It's literally everyone out there. Malik Thomas is getting checked out by the athletic trainer there with his, his leg, his hamstring, whatever it was. Some of these guys need a break, but you can't do it. You don't have enough players. I mean, what the hell are you going to do? Do they just concede Texas A&M and say, all right, Amir Brown, Aiden Kelly, Jaden Carletwa, burn Paolo's red shirt, Elmer, 40 minutes, go. Otherwise, these guys just have to continue to grind through it. And yes, that concerns me as we move forward and get closer and closer to postseason because it's easy to say, yeah, these guys got to heal up. Yeah, they got to get their rest. It's another thing to do it when you don't have a team full of players.
I really think it's possible that Arkansas just punts the Florida game. Just say, hey, we're going to take 6 guys to Gainesville. We're punting on the SEC regular season race.
Okay.
You're all good, Florida. Go ahead and take it. We're going to get some MRIs. We're going to get some bumps and bruises healed up. And so again, you just go into this A&M game saying, hey, just get through this one and then we'll give you some rest. I think if you're going to sit Acuff, dead serious, I think it's the Florida game.
You might be right. You might be right. Because you lose that game, it does nothing to you, you
Correct.
know? Gosh,
I wouldn't want to
really
lose to A&M at home, you know? Obviously, if Billy Richmond has an actual injury, I'll allow him to miss. But, like, that game, it wouldn't be the end of the world if they lost it. But, like, if they beat A&M, I think you're then at a point where it's like, man, they're kind of locked into a solid seed here. Let's just chill out.
Right. Yeah.
And not that I mean, listen, if they're available, play. But I think if you are looking for a spot to maybe lay an egg, that might be it.
Right. Dark Van Horn says, what's the current Billy Richmond status? Limping. In pain. We're not going to know anything definitive for a while. Certainly ain't going to be today. So, man, what a time to be alive. That was wild. You know what that was, Andrew? I'll tell you what that was. It was a fight. And it looks like it went down at Fight House Gym. A lot went down at Fight House Gym today, actually. The grand opening over there, they had all kinds of stars out there, including one John Neighbors. If you haven't checked it out yet, you ought to go do it. It's the newest boxing, MMA, and strength training facility in Northwest Arkansas. It's built for athletes, competitors, and anyone ready to push their limits. From high-energy boxing and MMA training to free weights, elite cardio equipment, sleds, and cross-training, Fight House Gym delivers everything you need to train at the highest level. Push your body to the edge, then recover like a pro with our cold plunge and saunas designed to keep you strong and ready for more. I'm dead serious when I say take the entire team down there. Do that. Put them in the cryotherapy things. Put them in hyperbaric chambers and don't let them out until 1 minute before the game on Wednesday. For the love of God, do not do anything to stress these basketball players before they play a game again. And if you're stressed out about it, go to Fight House Gym, right? It's not just a gym, it's a mindset. They're open now, 10131 Webb Way in Fayetteville, exit 58 off I-49. You can sign up today at fighthousegym.com or call 951-623-9745. Step inside and bring the fight. Whew. What do you think? Should we get some chats and see how people are doing?
Yeah, might as well.
Goodness.
We always end up with an abundance to where we're like an hour and a half in and we're like, dang, we didn't realize there'd be this many chats. So it's like, we might as well.
I know. I know. Man, oh man. Okay. Let's see what we have here. Cody James. He says, I take back what I said about DJ last game. Good stuff from him today. Yeah, he bailed Arkansas out in the first half. That was not going well. I think Acuff came out with a little over 5 minutes to go in the half, and Arkansas was down, and they made their rally with him out. And it was good for him to actually get a break. I mean, he winds up playing 35 minutes anyway, but he needed those minutes off there. And DJ came in, and he was aggressive. He was really good defensively. He had that baseline dunk, which was awesome. He hit a corner three. Really, really good segment there from him that it really kind of flipped the game on its head. He wasn't the only one. Like, Billy made some really good plays during that stretch, but without what DJ gave Arkansas at the end of the first half, we would have felt a lot different going into the locker room at the break.
100%. And this is a prime example today. He plays 18 minutes of exactly what Arkansas, quote unquote, needs from DJ Wagner. Because a lot of times I get frustrated when fans will be mad at a guy and they'll like, we need 10 rebounds a game from Nick Pringle. It's like, I sure would like it, but like, do you really need 10 rebounds? Like, I think Arkansas clearly doesn't need it because they've won a bunch of games where he's done nothing. It always cracks me up when people be like, we need more out of DJ. It's like, you really don't. You know, you need just a little bit of a solid net positive bench player from DJ Wagner. And that's what you got in this game. That's why I don't understand why there's so much animosity. We don't want to be, because that's why Kentucky fans hated DJ Wagner, because they thought that they needed him to save the program and set the standard for what a great player looks like in Kentucky blue. So that affected their view of him. Arkansas, we're just asking DJ Wagner to be solid, be an adult, be a veteran. And that's exactly what he was today. I think they can get by with DJ doing exactly this pretty much every game from here on out.
Yeah, I would agree with that, man. That was good to see. He looked like he was having fun out there again, you know. From D Cliff 001 says, pray that Billy isn't hurt. This team has grit. Extremely excited for March if we can stay healthy. Yeah, for sure. You know, best case, that's going to be a bruise, right? I mean, because they went knee to knee. That's what happened right there. I don't know how heavily Billy was planted. That would be something that would matter in terms if you're thinking about ligaments and everything. I don't know if he was rotated. I don't think he was. So it could be a big bruise on the inside of that knee. It could be an MCL kind of deal. It could be a lot of different things, right? There's a lot of variables right there.
You've also got a massive patella bone there that is connected to a lot. It's like, I understand that knee to knee in a nutshell usually isn't like the end of your season or anything crazy like that. But there's a lot of moving parts there in these knees with these super athletic specimens that we get to watch at Bud Walton.
That is a fact. From Might Be Mike 647 says the team put Darius Acuff on their backs tonight. Big woo pig suey dub.
It really speaks volumes that Darius Acuff could have 25 and 4, like numbers that if you average that for the year, you're an All-American, just about like fringe All-American. That a night and it's 100% accurate that like they did kind of be like, hey DJ, you can take a little bit of a night off, or sorry, Acuff, you can take a little bit DA, you can take a little bit of a night off, and it's still him having 20 points and going to the free throw line 11 times. Like it really is remarkable that I agree.
Yeah, it's like clearly he didn't have it, and then you look at the end of the night and you're like, oh wow, he was really good again.
Yeah,
such a crazy thing.
I don't even think he turned the ball over.
No, of course not. It's crazy, man.
Oh, but my favorite assist was that one to Billy at the end for the easy dunk, where it just kind of transition balls in the middle of the floor. Oh, just easy work.
Yeah, beautiful stuff right there. Let's see, what else do we have? I lost my place. Here we are. The student section says Nick played okay, so expect Tony Snell next game. He when he was out there, he played okay, but he only played 12 minutes because he can't stop fouling. I thought his fourth foul was a bad call, but it's Arkansas doesn't have enough players to have somebody who gets 4 fouls in 12 minutes out there. And you're right, because I thought he looked decent when he was out there. Had at least one dunk. That was probably both of his baskets in there.
Great pass from Malik, by the way.
Yes.
Thomas.
Yes, absolutely. And I thought one of the plays of the game was when he got 2 offensive rebounds in one possession, and it eventually led to a Trevin Brazile 3. That was awesome. Now, of course, they gave one up on the other end like 5 seconds later, but big effort play. I saw him dive for a loose ball out there. You like seeing that from the old man, Nick Pringle. So I thought his effort was there. His energy was there. He was playing with some physicality, but thank God Malik Ewan had a pulse out there and was playing well today, because Nick Pringle just fouls like crazy, man.
He does, and I'm just glad he was able to make a couple plays that impacted the game. That always comes back to me where I'm like, I would rather you play 10 minutes at like max effort than play 20 minutes where you're just kind of coasting, not really boxing out, not really putting your hands on the ball, not really getting your elbows dirty. Give me 10 where you foul 4 times and you get a couple key rebounds. That actually is fine with me, honestly, provided that Malik Ewan's going to score the ball the way he did.
Yeah, we did see the double big lineup for a few minutes there because, I think Trevin was probably due for a breather anyway, but he gave up back-to-back baskets to Mark Mitchell. And then we saw Ewan and Pringle, and didn't look bad. And this is a good game to do it. Teams who play big like that, it's a good opportunity to do that. They will probably do it against Florida more than they have against other teams. We'll see what it looks like. Will Pringle foul out in 7 minutes against Florida if he's out there guarding Chinyelu? I don't know.
Well, especially because Missouri's point guard had 4 fouls like 12 minutes into the game. Yeah. So that also helps, where it's like if you're playing a too big matchup, you're a little bit worried that a veteran savvy guard might be able to kind of exploit you. Missouri wasn't really in a position to do that, so Arkansas was able to kind of hold serve there.
Yeah, they were. And yeah, the foul trouble certainly went both ways in this game as opposed to the Alabama game, because you're right. T.O. Barrett was in foul trouble right away. Pierce, he's a good player, man. He's like a 6'11" guard. And that's a tough matchup on the wing for Arkansas there, because he's 5 inches taller than anybody. That was he's good. I don't know why I haven't heard more about that dude. But yeah, he had 4. Phillips had 4. Anthony Robinson, the backup point guard, had 4. So Arkansas did a good job of staying in attack mode and getting to the free throw line there, which was probably a necessary evil in a game like this today. Let's see. Washburn Idol says Acuff put the team on his back in Bama. Glad to see the rest of the team lift him up tonight. 20-point game aside, everybody could see it.
Yeah, it's one of those weird things where you just, if you know, you know. Like it only makes sense to us in our Razorback brains watching how the season's unfolded.
Right, for sure. I see. Let me put this up real quick because Ozzy's put this in the chat a few times now. He said, based on Billy's reaction to the trainer's Lockman's test. I would not be surprised if he's out for the season or at least until the SEC tournament. Those are two very, very different things. I will tell you, as a certified athletic trainer who practiced for a decade, the Lockman's test is not a test for pain. So his reaction of being very uncomfortable, yes, that is notable. But when you're doing a Lockman's test, you're testing for an endpoint, testing for the laxity of a ligament and how much wiggle there is, or if you feel a firm stopping point, then you know that thing is still intact. So reaction, sure, notable, but pain is not what that test is for.
So, okay, Curtis, I need you to help me because you're the trainer who is you're very well versed in this stuff. And, obviously with your background, am I stupid for kind of thinking that his over the top reaction is maybe almost a good sign? Because like, if you get kicked in the nuts, that hurts really bad. And I understand that can have long-term damage, but it's usually just like 3 minutes of excruciating pain. You stub your toe on a metal corner of the couch. That's excruciating pain in a moment, but that's not a long-term injury. Knee to knee might fall under that category of like excruciating, kind of rattles you pain that isn't necessarily an injury. Am I crazy for almost being encouraged by Billy's over-the-top reaction?
You're not crazy about it because it's true. I mean, have you ever gone knee to knee with somebody playing basketball or whatever?
It hurts.
It does not feel good at all. So, yeah, I wouldn't use his initial reaction there as a, oh my God, this must be really bad. No, knee to knee really, really hurts in there. It all depends on the angle in which he was hit. How hard was he planted? Was he turning or rotated? And, that would kind of be the telltale for what was going on there. And nobody's going to know until he gets an MRI. So,
Curtis, update on Billy. Thoughts?
That's all I got. Yeah. Ask again in a few minutes and we'll let
so
you
no
know.
word yet? No update, huh?
Yeah. No, I haven't heard anything. I'm inside the MRI machine waiting.
What about now? Huh? All right, I'm done. I swear.
I get it though. Paddlefish says, would you rather have Leak or Billy back next year? Jesus.
You ain't getting either back if I'm being 100% honest with you, but
No.
I'd rather have Billy simply because, and not because I think he would be like a way better player, but simply because I think if Billy plays a junior season at Arkansas, we're now talking about one of the all-time Mount Rushmore loved Razorbacks, potentially. I mean, he's already way up there. If he came back for a junior year and turned down a real pro opportunity, which, listen, whether he's going to get drafted or not, Billy Richmond could play professional basketball next season. And it might not be NBA. It might not even be G League, but it's like, if you have a real pro opportunity to make a lot of money and you're choosing to come back at Arkansas, that would be a way to get us even firmer into your heart. Leak, I want him to just go ahead and get money because that's what he came here to do. He came here to be a one and done. Cool.
You want to hear something funny? I have a small update on Billy.
Oh, let's hear it.
Well, the Razorback men's basketball account just tweeted post-game locker room stuff, and there's multiple pictures of Billy Richmond in there with nothing on his knee, no ice bag, big old smile on his face, one sitting, one standing. Take it for whatever it's worth, but that's just good to see, right?
Yeah.
Like that's encouraging to see. So I'll take it. I'll settle for that
for sure.
I'll settle for that for now.
That definitely leads you to believe that they don't think he suffered a serious injury, which
I
you
hope
do
so.
see athletes. A lot of times when athletes suffer a weird non-contact injury, they have a concern, like they don't feel the pain in their face. It's like a concerned, oh crap, I know what this feels like. Look, which, not trying to be dramatic, but I do think he's probably fine.
Yeah, I hope so, man. We'll see. I've been surprised by this injury report now multiple times in the last couple of weeks. I expected somebody else to be on that injury report today or last night, and he wasn't. So, I'm going to wait until I see that thing or whatever. I'm sure we're going to have all kinds of rumors flying around and everything like that. So I'm not looking forward to the next 48 hours, but it is what it is. Good to see him up, moving around with a big smile on his face. Breathe, at least for the rest of the night, because that's probably all you're going to get is what I would imagine. Hey, shout out to our partners over here at OZK Insurance. We really do appreciate them. They've been with us the entire season, representing the Pod at the Palace post-game show, our report cards, all those things. And man, they've really taken it to the next level. You guys see the app. You've heard us talk about it. Brand new in 2026, and it's really good stuff. You can see all your policies under one roof. That's home, auto, whatever it is you might have. You can do it all from there. I mean, you can pay your bills. If you're broken down on the side of the road, need roadside assistance, they got you. File your claims, request policy changes, whatever, all from the convenience of your phone. So if you're tired of being stuck with one carrier or chasing down paperwork or having multiple logins and forgetting your password and getting locked out, just go with one and get OZK Insurance. Go to ozkinsurance.com or search OZK Insurance in the App Store or Google Play. It's a local agency with national level options, one powerful app. That's OZK Insurance. All right. Back to the chat. Let's see what's going on. By the way, if you see anything in the normal chat that you want to pull up, do that, because I'm stuck over here in the starred world.
Yeah,
so,
no worries. I'm monitoring.
Okay, all right, yeah. How is everybody in a decent mood?
Yeah, everyone's in a decent mood.
Okay,
Actually,
good.
Though, real quick, Paddlefish wants you to answer the question.
Okay.
Who you would rather have back, Leak or Billy?
Oh, I'm sorry. No, I didn't answer that.
I cut you off. That's on me.
My answer would be Billy for the reasons that you laid out there. Honestly, but I'm like, it's like 51% to 49%, because the 3-point volume and the gravity and the spacing that Malik Thomas provides. I don't know where Arkansas is going to replace that. Hopefully in the portal, because that's not something that the freshmen are going to provide. Billy is incredible. I want him back. I'm not saying that I don't. I look at Abdu Toure and JJ Andrews, Jordan Smith Jr., and I say, man, Arkansas has got a lot of dogs who are athletic and are going to play downhill, are going to get after it defensively. They don't have a whole lot of volume 3-point shooting.
Yeah.
As I just kind of look ahead to next year's roster, I would still say Billy. That's how much I love that man. But, if they were able to get a guy like Leak back, that would be incredible. I don't think it's going to happen, though.
Yeah, definitely not happening. Can we take a moment real quick to appreciate that Malik Thomas has literally never turned the ball over? Like, I'm not even joking. He has never. Go look at his game log. He does not turn the ball over. I don't think he had one in this game. I think we're going on either 7 of 8 games or something like that, or 6 of 8 or something like that, where
I'm just ready to tell you exactly what it was.
And obviously he's not he's not a point guard, so it's not like he's dribbling constantly, but that just tells you the dude really he just takes, good shots for the most part. He plays the passing lane on defense, does what he can there, smart with the ball. I just think he's a threat that really doesn't have any negatives that he's presenting to the table too much of.
Yeah, he looks really, really good in there. So he got put in the starting lineup for that Vanderbilt game. And so 9 games as a starter, and he has 3 total turnovers.
Wow.
That's really, really good, man. For a guy who, he gets his touches, he's high usage, he gets his shots up. The way he's taking care of the basketball is huge. And then, if you look at his assist totals, 5 assists, 3 assists, 1 here, 1 there, 3 assists, 2. That's nice work, man, by the freshman. He's come a long way since when at the end of non-conference play, when he was in that slump and everybody was like, oh, he sucks.
Right. He's also averaging around 2 steals a game pretty consistently. So he's also creating turnovers on the other end. I mean, it's good stuff, man.
Yes, no, it absolutely is. This is a good question, and we've got time to tackle this a little bit. From Big Shafsto, we appreciate you, and I know a lot of the the questions are about Billy and depth, this and that. Arkansas did beat Missouri, by the way. In case everybody forgot, they beat Missouri 94-86 in this basketball game. 20-7 now on the season, 10-4 in SEC play, quad 2 win, great stuff from the Hogs. But this is a fair question. What do you think about Cal's depth issues? 2 years in a row, injuries are mounting up, and we don't have enough players. Woo damn pig. Once again, I ask you all, I implore you all to go back in time to the spring when every day on the Pod at the Palace or Inside Arkansas Live, I kept saying over and over and over, he needs to go get another body. This is not enough. They are a piece away. And everybody told me that I was an idiot. Trust the Hall of Famer. They're going to be fine. You never play more than 8 anyway. This exact scenario is what I was talking about. Because anybody who was making those points, you're not wrong, right? They're going to play an 8-man rotation, whatever. You got to have more options. You got to have more bodies. I'm not saying that you have to do the Mark Pope thing and get 15 guys and you're trying to play 12 or 13 of them every game. No, that's not going to work. But there are guys out there in the transfer portal or, freshmen who can actually function on the floor that will come in and understand the assignment of, hey, I'm next up. but this is going to be a big time developmental year for me, to where if you get in situations like this where maybe it doesn't have to be 4 guys foul out and okay, we need a better option than what we have to be able to put in there. But in games like today, where your team is just falling apart, having some dudes who can play, who are talented to be able to put in there. Games like Wednesday, when we're looking ahead going, good God, like what are they going to do? You got everybody on the team is limping around. It's a mash unit out there. This is where it really comes into play. When you get to the NCAA tournament, you don't want to be looking at it going, well, we got 5 and hopefully we can get 40 minutes through that. It's a long season. You get a 1-game sample size. You can take Arkansas's 7 players here, or their 8 players with Sealy or Knox or whoever. And yeah, sure, man, go to war. But it's really just a battle. The war is a 31-game regular season. It's 18 games in the SEC. Cal has to do better from that standpoint. I understand the philosophy. Come on, man. And last year, I'm just being honest here, Arkansas went out and had 9 guys that they really were going to rely on. A 9-man rotation. Jonas was hurt half the time. You had Boogie go down. You had Adu go down. So it wasn't always that, but the intention was to have 9. The intention this year for Arkansas was to have 8. So they actually went down. I understand Sealy is there, but Sealy is, I love him, and he's going to have to help Arkansas here, and he will the rest of the season. But he's a level down from whoever the hell Arkansas's 9th man was last year. It's just true. So at the bare minimum, he has to get one more body going in the next season. If he doesn't, no disrespect, I think that's very, very stubborn and short-sighted on his part. It's 2 years in a row that they're dealing with this.
Yeah, I think you're spot on with this, and you have been for the jump, and you've been consistent with it. Like, this isn't some revisionist history thing here. And listen, I 100% do understand the premise of not wanting to have too many mouths to feed, because I think you and I both agree that is a real thing, and it's something that can ruin your locker room, and that can really, Cal's just not the type of guy who's going to lie to someone. And I understand that happens a lot in coaching, and he has certainly done it in his career. He just doesn't want to be in that position to go to someone and say, hey, you're coming in to get a ton of minutes, and then run the risk of that guy not being in the rotation. Like, I do understand that, but I'm with you. And I also, what the piece I can't figure out is, are there not just some random 6'10" mid-major players that are averaging 24 minutes a game on their team, that are doing a good job for their team, that wouldn't gladly sell their soul to come play at Arkansas for Cal, even if it means you're only getting a chance for 10 to 12 minutes? I mean, listen, Arkansas, and I'm not to make this about baseball, Arkansas's backup catcher, Brennan Kleinman, was just an average player at Eastern Michigan, and straight up was like, listen, I know you have Ryder Helfrich. I know I'm not playing every day, but I'd rather be the backup catcher at Arkansas and play one game every now and then rather than start at a mid-range. I can't imagine there's not guys out there that don't require a ton of resources, that don't require a ton of, you have to beat out all these top dogs for them. Are there not just guys like that would be perfectly fine to not even be in your rotation? Maybe I'm crazy and naive and just think everyone wants to play for Arkansas and Calipari, but I can't imagine there's not UTSA's 7th man that wouldn't, crawl to Fayetteville if we asked, right?
Well, most teams in the country have those guys. So I'm sure that they would love to come play in front of 20,000 every night, and, on a team that's, has aspirations for a Final Four and everything like that. And that's why it's crazy to me. And you got plenty of time to be able to identify high character guys who would understand the assignment and come for the right reasons, and not leave yourself so vulnerable, man, because they played with fire now 2 years in a row and it's come back to burn them. That doesn't mean they're going to go get popped in the first round of the tournament or anything like that. I think they're going to be just fine there, but why even be in this situation if you don't have to, is what I don't understand. That's kind of the frustrating part for me. Why go into a season where you don't have a backup 4 on your roster? You don't even have one. Why would you put yourself in that spot? I don't know. And hopefully that's not going to be the case moving forward. I know that there's budgetary things at play here, but if we're really being honest, how much is your 9th and 10th man going to actually cost you? And is it really that big of an issue for Arkansas? I'm going to say it's probably not.
Yeah, let's start a GoFundMe for the 9th man next year.
I love that.
Screw the 5-star freshman or the top player in the portal. Let's get a collection fund together for a 4th forward. That's what we need to do.
Yes. Oh man. Ozzy says, agree with Ellis, tank the season just like the baseball hog.
Just like the 5-1 baseball team who continues to scratch out wins and, clearly care.
Yeah.
Just both teams, the 4 seed basketball team should tank, and the top 5 baseball team, they should both tank.
Yes. Joffre's had a bunch of Razorbacks in jail at different times this season. He said they're all out of jail because they're in the ER. I mean, it's crazy that in a win like this, a gutsy win, and I'm glad we took the first 20 minutes to talk about it, that we're not even really talking about, man, the job Arkansas did on, whoever late in the game, or taking care of this matchup, or wow, yeah, the fast break points, they really overcame something. No, it's literally about what is everybody's injury. Like they're in there comparing that. You see, like a lot of times old people, they'll go to the diner and they talk about their doctor's visits and everything. That's going to be Arkansas at team breakfast tomorrow. It's wild. Who is healthy on this? Like,
I think Malik Ewan is probably inching toward being healthy post, because he got banged up there, obviously, in the Kentucky game, and then the game. What game was that he got elbowed in the face?
LSU, I think.
Okay, in Baton Rouge.
Yeah,
I think he's probably now past that to where, I think he's good.
Yeah, I think Trevin's okay.
Yeah, Trevin's okay.
Yeah, he's all right. Yeah, so you got those guys, but literally everyone else has something going on, and I get it. Like it's the end of February and nobody's 100%, but good grief, man.
Can I give you the most underrated play of the game?
Yes.
Plays of the game. Trevin Brazil got fouled on back-to-back possessions, one of which was on an offensive rebound, which helped. And he got fouled, and it was a 1-and-1 both times. And not only did he make the front end both times, he made all 4. Not a crazy deal, not the end of the world, but you could have very easily came away from that with 0 points. If they were Nick Pringle, that very easily could have been 0 points and 2 empty possessions. And then maybe and it was like a 5-point game at this point. It was a very close game. That was a huge spot where Arkansas got just a little miniature degree of separation that could have been 2 points, could have been 1 point, could have been 3, ended up being 4 out of 4. I want to give him that credit.
Yeah, that was good. I'm mad because I had the bold prediction of TB hitting 4 threes. And he had 7 quality looks. I mean, he made 2 of them. Like, I'm glad he made multi threes, but man, like one more of those would have gone down. You'd have felt a lot different about, his night and everything in there. I got irritated at Trevin early in the second half where you felt like Arkansas was starting to get a little bit of separation. And then he just ran 80 feet from his own basket and set that just no reason whatsoever illegal screen on Anthony Robinson. Like, Darius Acuff doesn't need that screen to get by that dude. And you just come by and backpick him and snipe him. And luckily it didn't get upgraded to anything because I know they were looking for it, but it was like, why did you do that? What made you think that that was a good idea? We're fortunate, I guess, that Billy didn't get ejected. By the way, that was crazy because obviously from Bud Walton Arena, we had no idea. Like the half just ended, and then there was like the little ruckus between the teams, and then the officials are reviewing everything at the monitor. In the arena, they're honoring the veterans, at halftime. Like there's this whole presentation, and then we just see the officials talking to the scorers table. They leave, and Unbiased Brim, I love you. But I got him saying, Billy's ejected. He's out. Flagrant 2. He's ejected. He's kicked out of the game. I got other people tweeting at me saying, yeah, Billy just got tossed, and nothing was said the entire time. And so I'm like,
I can't interrupt the guard salute,
No, exactly. And it wasn't until we were literally getting ready to start the second half that they said it was a flagrant 1. So I was halfway operating under the assumption they weren't even going to have Billy in the second half. I got a bunch of bad information from you guys who listen. You're supposed to be helping me out, man.
You know what I was doing there? Shout out to Billy for doing that, because it allowed me to record a bombastic podcast at halftime, and it gave me a couple extra minutes of wiggle room to properly recap Camden Kojal's cycle. By the way, did you see that?
Yes,
Kojal hit the cycle. How about that?
Awesome. Good for him, man. Real quick, in 30 seconds or less, give the people your thoughts on Arkansas baseball.
I'm glad they swung the bats extremely well today. 13 hits, had a couple huge, hits with runners in scoring position, 2 outs. They made some things happen. His home run in the first inning was a 2-run, 2-out home run. Then with 2 outs, he has the double in the ninth. Kahio Aloy has the single. I thought Dietz was a lot better than the numbers showed. I thought it was a good win. It was gutsy. It was close. Too close for comfort. I'd prefer them to whip their ass tomorrow, but I thought it was a pretty solid win. I think Xavier's just kind of scrappy.
There we go. Sweep season.
Tomorrow. Yeah, they're sweeping tomorrow for sure.
Yeah, like that. I also like Blue Ember Smokehouse, and if you haven't tried it yet, you should, and then you'll like it too. They're all over the state of Arkansas, so anywhere that you are, you're probably pretty close to one, with locations in Fort Smith, Jonesboro, Texarkana, Little Rock, Hot Springs, and Rogers. Go check them out, man. It's really, really good. We're there the first Wednesday of every month, and me and Andrew are always chowing down on the burn ends. They've got a secret item that's getting ready to come on the menu that they treated us to last time we were down there. It's really good stuff. My favorite part about it is I go home and I smell like it for like 3 days. My clothes smell like it. I take a shower. It doesn't matter. I still smell like it. And that's the kind of thing that you want that stench to stay with you for a while. Like, so you get sprayed by a skunk and you can't get rid of it. That's bad news. You go to Blue Ember and you leave smelling like barbecue. That's a beautiful thing. They'll also cater for you. So weddings, business parties, meetings, whatever you might have going on, if folks want to eat some good barbecue, they'll take care of you. So you see the numbers on your screen, call for individual pricing, or scan the QR code on your screen, or go to www.blueembersmokehouse.com for more information. All right, so got a handful of chats to roll through here. Washburn Idol says 2 games with an obvious review like that is wild.
The hook and hold is what he's referring to, maybe?
That pissed me off. I mean,
yeah,
it's pretty textbook, I think.
I thought so too. I think maybe because he had it so low. Usually when you see it, it's like out in front and it's kind of at a different angle. And he had Trevin on his hip and kind of just kept him at his hip. The only thing that sucks about it is if you just don't call a foul on anyone, nobody has an issue.
True.
The fact that it was Trevin's 4th foul that he didn't even really commit, that was the tough part about it. Obviously, it didn't end up mattering, but that was annoying.
Yeah, it was. And I wonder if it was because usually when you get those, it's like on a free throw and it impedes the guy's ability to like extend up, like jump up to try to get the rebound. And it's dangerous, right? Like it can hurt your shoulder and everything like that. That was kind of like Trevin trying to fight through and front the post or whatever, and he had him hooked there. So maybe that's part of the reason why they didn't do it, but you hooked him and you held him and it didn't get called. And instead, Trevin's to the bench with 4 fouls. He hits free throws and you're like, oh, well, that sucks.
I mean, there's 2 things you look for on a hook and hold. You look for the hook and you look for the hold.
Yeah.
And if they're both there, that's a hook and hold. I felt like that was,
come on.
I thought I saw him, but I don't
know. From Dre, good to see you, man. He says, ice bath, red light, sauna, IV hydration, holy water, blessing from a monk, whatever it takes to get healthy. Yeah, seriously. I'm sure the whole squad was in the ice baths after this game. You just have to be, man.
I think, and it's nice, honestly. I mean, what time is it right now? Is it 6:00 yet?
6:13.
Enjoy your evening. Go get some dinner, order some pizza or whatever.
Yeah.
Kick back, relax, watch some ball, go to Bomb tomorrow, freeze your ass off. Like, just have a chill 48 hours here. You don't have to travel. You don't have to do anything. That helps. Not traveling is a big deal when you have and it's not a quick turnaround either. 8 p.m. Wednesday. Just relax, everybody. Be cool.
Yeah, I'm with you. That actually is a really good thing. And I know that they're going to have tomorrow off. Cal has talked about how they might be a 2 days a week off team. I wouldn't practice Monday either.
If you're not taking 2 days off here, I don't know when you are.
Yeah, man. Like, come in Monday. I would lock the basket, like lock the gates. Just go to the training room, get some rehab, get some treatment. You want to do film, fine. And then Tuesday, shoot around, scouting report, walkthrough type stuff. And then maybe you get pretty active for your Wednesday game day shoot around and have a good warm up out there. But I would not be doing too much at all. Let's see. Derek Garduno. Hey man, good to see you. He says, I'm proud of these guys. I dare say no other team could do what these Hogs do if they had the injuries that we have had. Yeah, it's a lot going on here. Now some of it's magnified because of what we were talking about earlier with Cal not having enough bodies necessarily to be able to overcome it. And throw some other dudes in there. It will help when they're able to get Sealy back in there. I would imagine for Wednesday, Sealy will be not only available, but probably, like in the rotation, actually playing minutes. He seemed to me like today he was the guy where if you had people foul out and instead of going to a walk-on, you would go to him and see what he could give you. In warm-ups, he was moving around okay, but you could tell he wasn't really pushing it too much out there. So I'm glad that they didn't have to go to him, honestly.
Billy not being in foul trouble kind of eliminated the need for Isaiah Sealy. If he had like 2 quick fouls or something, you maybe would have considered something. You know what this chat, you know what I thought of reading it? Game recognizes game.
Exactly.
Derek Garduno can recognize a real warrior fighting through adversity.
Yeah, no, it's 100% right. I like that. From Washburnado again, we appreciate you hanging out with us. He said, armadillos cause cycles. Can they heal Billy?
Yeah, I didn't think about that. Look, everybody, armadillos maybe get a bad rap. Everybody talking about leprosy. Yeah, okay, sure, that's what's going to happen. All I've seen is Cam Kojal hitting long balls and hitting base hits in the gap. That's what armadillos seem to cause instead of leprosy.
Yeah, exactly. And his skin's still intact, so he's doing all right. That was only in Arkansas, man. Walla Hog says, calling the Hogs all the way from Kauai. Kauai
Leonard.
Kauai.
That was good. I like that.
Yeah, that's probably what it was, honestly. Good for you. We're jealous.
Yeah. Sounds like a cool place to be.
Yeah. Hey, in less than a month, we might be in Florida and then Cali, so we'll get our trips in there.
Walla Hog's definitely going to pull up. If we're in Portland, that'll be the silver lining. If we have to go to Portland, then we'll probably see Walla Hog.
Yeah, I think you're right. From Tuna's house, member for 4 months. Good for you. With our short bench and defensive struggles, especially down low, what's the chances we figure how to play defense without fouling before March? Woo pig. To me, like, this hasn't been a good defensive team all year, and they've had struggles defending the paint all year. They're 20-7. They're 10-4 in the SEC. They're locked in the NCAA tournament. They have a hell of a resume. They're still really, really good. And so we can talk about, is this going to cost them in the NCAA? Maybe it is. Maybe it's the interior defense that causes Arkansas to lose in the NCAA tournament and ends their season. Maybe they have an ice cold shooting night out of nowhere. Maybe they run into somebody who goes for 40. Maybe it's the 3-point. Like, it could be a million different things. This is probably the most likely outcome. And really what I think for this Arkansas team is, I don't know how much better this is going to get from a paint defense standpoint, but they've been a lot better defending the 3. Okay, fine. You won the rebounding battle today. So sometimes you lose in the paint and you give up 15 offensive rebounds and you give up 20 second chance points. They didn't do that. And then also, are you scoring in the paint? If your 5s are getting scored on in there, can you get 16 and 8 out of Malik Ewan? You know what I mean? So I think they're just going to have to kind of counteract it in other ways. We know that they're a very, very potent offense. Do I think they're going to be able to learn how to play defense without fouling? That really hasn't been that big of an issue for them throughout the course of the season. I think the fatigue has started to kind of mount on them here, and that's a lot of what you saw out there today. But Arkansas had 17 fouls called in a 40-minute basketball game. That's not a lot, honestly. Missouri was in just as much foul trouble as Arkansas was. And in the last game, you played 2 overtimes. Of course, guys are going to get in foul trouble.
You know what happens? You know how you go deep in the tournament? Things that you weren't counting on to happen. Devo turns into James Harden. Right. Trey Wade hits a few threes. You just need guys to step up. Maybe Arkansas getting like a few stops on defense will be that. It's like, oh, man, we made that huge run because we only gave up 32 paint points.
Yes.
Something like that.
Yes.
You can't go into a game expecting that for sure.
Right. Am I right that Tennessee wound up winning that game at Vanderbilt?
I don't know. I have not been tapped in other than I watched a little bit. Unfortunately, I watched a little bit of Florida Ole Miss this morning. Outside of, and I saw Georgia was up big on Texas. Let me pull up. I got the SEC games right here, so I'll let you know.
Yeah, I'm pulling them up here too, so we can.
Tennessee did win 69-65.
So they keep pace with Arkansas. They're at the top of the league, in second place in the league, but Arkansas does have a tiebreaker advantage over them. Everybody saw the seeding, the top 16 was released from the actual NCAA selection committee today. Arkansas wasn't in the top 16, which are the top 4 seeds. But they said right there, Arkansas, Alabama were like next up. Well, Vanderbilt lost. And everybody's been pissed about why is Vanderbilt ahead of Arkansas and see all these things. Well, now they've taken another L. Arkansas's picked up another win that'll go in the first 2 quadrants. The metrics are going to start to even out more. So as we look at the updates that come out of this weekend, now I think you can start to have the argument for Arkansas over Vanderbilt. Before, I got to be honest with y'all, it was kind of a tough sell. I know Arkansas beat them. Strength of schedule, I understand all that, but when they're ahead of you in every metric, they got 3 more wins in the first 2 quadrants. There's just a lot there. Now I think we can have that discussion. Put Arkansas ahead of them. Go ahead. Kind of good to see them lose. You said, yeah, okay, wow. So Georgia over Texas. So that's 2 of those teams that were at 8-5 who have taken losses now. So you got a 2-game cushion on more of them. Separation, as John Calipari likes to say, that's good. It's good to see. Let's see. It looks like, okay, we got some Cal stuff. Nice work. Okay, thanks, John. We're going to play this Cal. It looks like his opening remarks in the press conference. Very curious to see what he had to say. Again, don't expect any groundbreaking updates or anything like this here, but he's probably going to talk about his team having to limp through this game and pick up a quality win over Missouri.
Apparently, this is one long video.
One long video?
He covers it all.
Okay.
Which I actually believe he will.
Good, yeah. And we can stop and start and react all we want to. And by the way, feel free to hit the pause button whenever you want to, Andrew, in here, and we'll kind of go through it.
You have to do that against them or you can't beat them. That's their deal of rebounding and sending guys, and they're good. You got to give them credit. They're good. They got shooters, they got scorers, they got guards. They're huge. They can post the ball when they need to. Mitchell.
I'm stopping it like 10 seconds into this, but they are. Missouri's big as hell. As soon as I walked in Bud Walton Arena and I was watching warm-ups from one side to the other, I was like, good grief. I could really notice Carter not being out there for Arkansas. And I know he's 6'6" or whatever, but he's 220. It's just another big body. And with them out there, and they've got a 6'10" dude playing the 3, and then Mark Mitchell's a big, strong guy. Phillips isn't very good at basketball, but he's a legit 7-footer. The dude Burns, who's not skilled at all, but he's like 7'3", and like you throw it up there to the top, and he can get things done. That is a big team. So I remember watching earlier in the year and being like, how the hell did Missouri beat Florida? It doesn't make any sense. They have the kind of size that can get it done there. So he's right, man. That is it. That is one big team.
As good as anybody in our league. Just goes and gets baskets. But there's 2 things that happened in this game at halftime. Malik Ewan played pretty good in the first half. As I'm out near the bench, Nick Pringle says to me, that's another player from the past.
That's crazy.
Nick Pringle says to me, if you want to start Malik Ewan, because he played really good, I'm fine. He said, now, I'm not telling you what to do. You do what you want to do, but I'm telling you that wouldn't bother me in the least. Think about that. Think about that. Second thing is, it's the softest 21, most quiet 21 points that I've seen in my 26 years of coaching. Maybe more than that. Billy Richmond, like, you would never know he just had 21 points. He just plays because you're watching everything else he does. Our guard play was good. Here's the biggest thing. I gave him.
All right, he's about to get into a different tangent there. So if we wanted to react to what he was just saying there, shout out to Nick Pringle, shades of Jalen Graham, who once upon a time told Eric Musselman, no, coach, I don't want you to start me.
I mean, honestly, I'm holding off from making a joke here, but I do kind of appreciate it still. You know what I mean? That Pringle understands the best version of this Razorback basketball team probably doesn't include him. Now, part of me also wishes that pissed him off a little bit more, that he was like, you know what? I'm going to go out there and show you why sticking with me is the right decision. But I'll accept it for now.
At least when he did get in there was when he had, the big moments. Like, I'm going to go grab a couple offensive rebounds and get our team a 3. So it's not like it happened and it was like him conceding, saying, I'm done here. He got out there. He played hard. So that was good. I like it. Let's see.
We couldn't do anything after Alabama. So the 2 days we had like an hour practice, but it was more half court stuff. And that was on what's today, Saturday? So that was Friday. On Thursday, we could do nothing. You just, And let me say this. I did not know what to expect, and I was prepared to defend them if they just didn't have it today.
I appreciate that.
I appreciate this so much because Cal, so was I. All right.
We had already done that mental gymnastics, and I'm glad that he low key was like in bed last night. He's like, they might just suck tomorrow. Yeah. It wouldn't even be hard to be. It would be hard to be upset with them.
Oh man, I'm glad he said that. Okay. All right. We're moving on.
I was ready. I had it. You want me to tell you what I was going to say? I'll tell you that they didn't have it. I got their backs. That Alabama game, where you make more baskets, more threes, 6, 7 turns, they have 12. That's more possessions. 6 blocks against 1 block, and you lose. And it's on the road, and it's crazy. Wouldn't you expect a letdown in this game? I did. So I was ready for it. And what I told the staff, if they really come out and give us something, they're better than I thought.
Love that.
Because half of this is the mental part of it, especially now. So they'll have the rest of today off. They'll have tomorrow off. Monday, we're going to watch tape. And maybe if I need to do something to walk through on the court, maybe do some individual work with a couple guys. And then we'll practice Tuesday to get ready for this game Wednesday. And they just told me it was Texas A&M now. The good news is I've watched tape of other teams playing Texas A&M. So I've watched some. They're good. They press, they scramble, they play with unbelievable energy. They're good. It's another team. We got 4 games left. We could lose all 4.
I mean, he's been saying that since they've had like 9 games left. You know what I mean? And hey, we're in lockstep with Cal again after a game. Does that make you feel good?
Which, it always comes in whenever Arkansas does what they're supposed to do. We then view the game through the exact same lens as Cal, which, by the way, there is a Billy update. Did you want to?
Yes, yeah, I definitely did. I hope that he makes me put my foot in my mouth and he actually has something good to say here.
Yeah, I think we get at least a little something.
Okay.
I just let Billy play. And we ran things for him to drive today. And I'm telling him, just put your head down and go, because that's what they're doing to us.
Quick follow-up. Is there any concern with that last injury, or was it cramping for Billy there?
My guess it was cramping. He's one that if he were down on the ground, I'd say, come on, mama's boy, get up.
Listen. I understand it is extremely possible that we look weird. Okay. Gotcha. I understand it is extremely possible like that this could age horribly, like if Billy really does have something. I'm guessing that Billy had to have given somebody an indication that he's not hurt at all.
Okay.
There's no way Cal would say something like that at the press conference if he had any concern whatsoever. But he may just have no clue.
That would be tough. That would be really tough. It 1,000% was not cramping, by the way, but
that's what concerns me.
Yeah. Good grief, man. Okay, let's get back into the chat. We still got a handful more here, and then we'll wrap it up. Appreciate everybody for hanging out with us. Hunt, OZK becomes a YouTube member. Doesn't have to do that. One of our better, bigger sponsors that we have out there. So we appreciate you for being here with us today. Derek says, leak down the stretch with the forced turnover, rebounds, a clutch transition 3 probably was a difference if I'm being honest. Woo pig. Yeah, he turned it on. What do you have, 4 points or something at halftime? And it's just kind of casual out there. But when he needed to tap into the reserves a little bit, he did. He was making plays, and he's smart, because I think what he realized was our forwards are kind of going through it in this game, and they're having to battle and box out, and maybe they're tipping basketballs, but I'm going to have to get my butt in here and rebound. And he did it again. He had 10 rebounds the other day against whoever it was they were playing, whoever they played before, Auburn, I think it was. And then he had 8 rebounds in this game, tied with Ewan for the team lead in there. Those were really, really important. So good on Malik Thomas for stepping up when he needed to there. Might be Mike says Knox and Leak show you have to get the OTE out of them.
Yeah. Although Leak,
yeah.
there really wasn't much in there. I think he came a little bit ahead of schedule, which we expected, to be fair.
Yeah.
But yeah, fair enough.
Yeah. No, it's that's true. Arkansas
I want to see Leak shoot more threes, by the way.
Me too. Yeah, I was a little bit disappointed that he only had 3 attempts today. Like I want him to shoot at least 8 every game. So,
well, especially if you make 2 of them.
Yeah, I mean, honestly. Stripiest Wig says, I really thought Samito or Rattel would come along during the season, but obviously I misunderstood the plan. Rattel had back surgery in the preseason. He's been out all year, and Samito's been redshirted.
This one concerns me a little bit because Stripiest, I feel like, is one of our most sound, usual. Yeah. Like I don't think I've ever seen anything from Stripiest that would lead me to believe that he, doesn't listen to us or that he's not been paying attention. But I remember last year people kept asking about Rattel, and we kept having to be awkward and be like, he's probably not going to play. Like, this is a guy that's on the roster, but he's not like brought in to have a big role. And we just kept being asked about him. And it got to the point where we were like, we almost had to be disrespectful, where we were like, dude's not playing at all. And Samito, we've known for the entire time it's a red shirt. They would only burn that if they absolutely had to. And Zafich would be the guy they would play over him. I feel like Stripiest, he might be trolling us though, low key.
Yeah, I mean,
I might be trolling.
I wouldn't put it past him. I will say Rattel would have been like, had the team been at full strength all year, Rattel would have been 10th man. I think he would have been behind Sealy as like whoever the next emergency guy is up there. I'm not entirely sure he would have been over Jaden, honestly, but I think that probably was kind of what they had in mind there with him. Samito, super high upside, super talented kid. When he wasn't on campus for summer workouts, that kind of put the nail in the season for him because he's got a long way to go just in terms of getting stronger. We know all these things, but yeah, we've talked about that plenty. Washburn Idol says DJ dunking on Biggs is becoming a thing, and I'm here for it. 7 for 7.
Just DJ beat him to the rim, man.
Yeah, man. That was fantastic to see. I love it. Peyton says Blue Ember will support the funds for the 9th and 10th man. We're in there. We're already getting this thing started.
Yeah, I like that lead. You guys, someone's got to lead from the front,
Exactly.
At the very least, if you're the 9th man in Arkansas, you might not be in the rotation. You might not get a ton of minutes, but you'll get some good barbecue.
Yes, no doubt about it. And I see that Washburn Idol just all over it, all over the chat. The super chats. Became a member today. Good for you. You're automatically on our list of favorites just for everything that you've done today. Last one that we have here from Trip Conley. He says, did y'all see the Towel Boys wiping the floor after every possession? Somebody had to be mad after Carter slipped. I did. There were 2 of them.
Yeah. Much needed, frankly.
Yes. I mean, that's literally what happened to Adu, what happened to Carter. Everything underneath the basket in the second half of basketball games terrifies me. I mean, Billy, just the hit that he just took under the basket there. I know Arkansas likes to score around the rim. Just be careful, boys. Be careful. Why was Billy even there when Acuff was driving a clear lane to go get that layup at the end anyway? Like, I don't know, man. Stressing me out. Are there any other? Oh, John says Mizzou players were yelling at the refs early in the game that there's Vaseline on the damn ball.
Oh, so you get a little sweat, get a little Vaseline mixture. I can make for a slippery surface there.
Oh man, that's crazy. Anything else that from these clips that you want to get into before we get out of here? I know we got it looks like a couple different ones.
I just want to hear what he has to say on you, and I bet it's not like anything crazy.
Okay.
But just coming off of the heels of the Nick Pringle, begging to be benched thing.
Yeah.
I want to hear what he had to say about Malik Ewan.
The way you practice is the way you're going to play. If you're looking to cut every corner, but you think I'm going to walk in the game and I'm going to – no, you're behind the action. And so that's all I've been on him about, including today's shoot-around. And he's getting better. He's learning. Look, by the end of the year, if we get him right, that makes us even better, and it makes Nick, we can roll Nick into the role he's best at.
So, okay, am I tripping, or has Cal said this for a while now that, like, we want Ewan to play more. We want him to be the starter. We want Pringle to play less.
He is basically begging.
Nick Pringle is saying, play him more, play me less.
Everyone is begging Malik Ewan to just be average.
Yeah.
just be consistently average, man, and you'll get all the things that you want in life.
Yeah. It's very interesting.
That is funny. I'm glad we played that one. That's pretty good there. Okay, Andrew, any final thoughts on this game day, festivities, everything that's happened on this Saturday before we get out of here?
Well, before I get to my final thought, I am going to get, because I just saw another super chat pop up.
Okay,
from
good.
Battlefish said there has to be a reason Cal doesn't want portal guys like Yaxel, Wilkerson, etc. Does it seem like he cares more about helping families? So I will say, it's not like Cal turned down Yaxel. Was just like, no, not interested. Yaxel cost multiple millions of dollars, and I think he probably wasn't interested in coughing up that much coin. And Wilkerson, honestly, low-key might have been the same thing.
Yeah, I mean, he wound up getting crazy money to go to Indiana there. And I'm not saying, anybody who wants a bunch of NIL, you can't have them at all, and everybody on your team has to make $1 million. No, it's not that, but at some point you got to look at it and say, is it worth it? Like with Wilkerson, I obviously they had a pretty good idea of what they had in the backcourt with Acuff and Malik Thomas, and what they thought they had, on the wings there. So you got to look at it and say, what do you wind up getting in Indiana? People are saying like $2.5 million. We need to pay for that, and we don't even know where the hell his minutes are going to come from. So I get it from that standpoint. I don't know, man.
Well, I don't have any crazy final thoughts other than I really enjoyed this basketball game.
Me too.
I also enjoyed the baseball game. Go check out the I felt bad because I was like, I told people I wasn't going to record a bombastic because of the basketball game. But then you have a dude hit for the cycle. I'm like, okay, I gotta crank something out real quick. And it worked out perfect. So go check that out. And yeah, I'm very pleased with the Arkansas men's basketball team and the players that stepped up in this game. It wasn't easy, wasn't beautiful, but they get the job done, and I continue to be a believer, man. So I'm pleased tonight on this beautiful Saturday night.
Yeah, good stuff. Nice win for the Razorbacks. They'll stay at least in a tie for second place in the SEC, and you guys get some rest. The Razorbacks need a little bit of rest. Nobody do too much outside of kick your feet up the rest of the weekend. Watch some good college basketball tonight. Watch some baseball tomorrow. And relax a little bit, because we all need to be at our best for Wednesday, right? But we're going to get out of here for now. Appreciate everybody for hanging out with us as always. Subscribe to the Inside Arkansas YouTube channel if you haven't done so already, and find us wherever you listen to your podcast. For Andrew Ellis and intern Gigi, intern Cameron, producer John, I'm Curtis Wilkerson. We will catch you guys next time on the Pot the Palace post-game show. Enjoy the rest of your weekend.